Before they built worlds, before they launched studios, before they worked on AI, film, video effects, or games, they were just people who couldn't put the controller down. At some point, the game wasn't enough. Curiosity took over, and curiosity turned players into builders. So going backwards in time, was there a game that kind of like sparked when you were a kid? Like that was the thing that kind of drew you into gaming in the first place?
I think it was Portal.
Portal, yeah. Okay. Solid pick.
I think that's most people.
So I reckon I spent a big chunk of my childhood playing games where you've got to patiently build something, like management games, simulation games. I think it's a brilliant grounding for building your own business, which is what I've been doing for the last 10 years.
It had to be Final Fantasy II on the NES.
Hey.
I mean, I'm back from the Atari days, so I played all that stuff, but I'm so drawn to it still after 30 years making games.
Definitely River Run was a big one. Top down, like avoiding like things. I was like filling it in my imagination, like what, because the pixels were like size of like city blocks, so it's like, what is it that makes me drawn to this?
When I was in 7th grade, my dad came home with an Xbox 360,
Classic.
Halo 3, and honestly, that was like the standard for me.
As a kid, I learned how to program super early. My grandmother, she gave me a check for $300 and I bought a Commodore 64.
Oh, okay.
And I'd been, I was kind of envious of my friends who had Apple IIs and other things. But there was one game that really did it for me, and that was Ultimate 3. RPGs ultimately became my comfort food as a result. So yeah, and that was really what got me into thinking hey, maybe this is something I might want to do with my future.
I always wanted to create short movies, and very early it was a way of creating.
I always knew that I always wanted to build a game at some point. Back from super early, very young. As you grow developing, everything new, biggest thing that you've done feels cool and amazing, right? And so I haven't hit that in a while until I made Loftia, and we kind of hit the initial beta tests where you have thousands of players flowing in and all the servers are working. That's when I really said, oh wow, it's working, this is real.
When I was around 15, I bought a book that had a CD in the back that had a 3D modeling software called TrueSpace.
Okay.
It's long gone, but once I got my first taste of creating a 3D model, I was hooked. It's kind of what got me really feeling like I could be a part of the industry.
This is kind of the thing we're always kind of demystifying, is that Unreal Engine is just for building games. And that's not true at all, is it? No. So you use it for video production.
So I'm in television, but not games.
Okay.
But I was in games long time ago. Looking Glass Studios was a place that I worked.
I used to work for United States Special Operations Command, and we used to build very large 3D trains for simulators to train pilots. As the technology got better, we had to build higher and higher and higher resolutions of content, but we didn't have the infrastructure to kind of support pulling in, millions of square kilometer of 1 meter imagery. That was probably one of the biggest challenging projects I've ever done.
I'd have to say it was probably our game Dragonhold. It was such a massive undertaking. It was probably too big for our team to build. I think it was just grit.
I recommend a lot of people, younger kids that want to do it as well. I tell them to really seriously think about it before you get into it, because it will break you.
Okay.
I literally had to put myself in the hospital to ship our previous game.
It doesn't matter how hard the project gets. We're gonna win. We're gonna go through it. That's what a gamer is. That's what a developer is.
I think more often than not, people are excited about new challenges because, there's always whenever something new is coming out, like with AI. At the very beginning, it changes so quickly, and so people are coming up with all sorts of new ideas.
If I was 18 today, the opportunities available are in a lot of ways better than they've ever been. Like if you look at the latest versions of Unreal, Blender, Maya, like the difficulty of getting like the creative vision out of your head and onto an actual medium is easier than it's ever been.
I did about 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, a 2-episode, so a full hour of animation, something around 9 months. We created every character, and it was a team of only 6 of us. Every character, every prop, every building, the entire environment, animated them all with lip sync, story, editing, lighting, rendering. The tools were so difficult, and the work for the 6 people was so difficult. I know for a fact, if we did that project now, that would not take anywhere near as much time. It would look so much better, and I don't think it would have broken me the way it broke me.
Yeah. I think right now where the tech world is it's evolving super quickly, especially with AI. For us, like we use it more so of like concepting, because we do need to build concepts for games and actually make them every week for especially live service games. And if we can do that very quickly at a very low cost, that's perfect.
The unfair advantage is speed, and when your hands and your vision move at the same time, nothing is impossible.
What's the fastest way a laptop can ruin a great idea? I mean, if it can't keep up with you. Like it's always comes down to that is, as you get into that flow state of developing, you don't want your tools to be getting you frustrated of, oh, it's overheating, this compile is taking 30 minutes. The quicker the laptop and the hardware can stay out of your way, the more you can focus on actually building things.
It really just comes down to having that good amount of RAM, because I don't usually just have Unreal open. I might have 3ds Max open, I might have Substance Painter open, I might have several softwares open so that I can switch back and forth seamlessly. You just gotta have a powerful enough machine that you can leverage between softwares.
The right machine is the one that allows you to express it instantly, right here, right now. So that's why I'm very into laptop, because you travel and you have an ID, you open the laptop, you do the ID, it's on the go.
You're sitting across from your younger self. What would you tell yourself about the future of gaming?
I would definitely tell myself to not wait until I'm ready to do anything. Just do it.
When I started, you had to actually like build your own engine every time you wanted to build a game, right? There's so much available tech these days. Whether you want to be a streamer or you want to build games or whatever it is, there's a lot of technology to enable what you want to do. So find out what you're passionate about in this industry or around this industry.
And that's what I like about the Epic platform and gaming, because you can get into all kinds of different market verticals. And I think most companies around the world are using the platform. I mean, there's billions of users using the platform, so maybe you want to be in fashion, or maybe you want to go do an automotive designer. You can do whatever you want nowadays.
There's so many good tools and technologies and opportunities out there at this point.
Think about what technology has enabled us to do, through again, consoles are my reality, so console generation. But even if you look at how chip manufacturers have evolved, like Intel over time, or graphics technology as well, just thinking about embracing what that could potentially mean for how we create entertainment, how we tell stories, how we hone our craft is incredibly exciting. And really the only limitation that we have is how far we want to push the boundaries of our own creativity.
The future is going to be won by the people who actually go and grab it and do it and build it.